Welcome to Runako Universe. I know everything, you know nothing. This is episode 4 of me trying to share my knowledge and solve problems in the world. And if you dummies have any questions, feel free to email me at runakouniverse@gmail.com. Now let's get into today's issues. So we are once again in a extremely heightened state of existence. There's so much going on in the world, and that leads to a lot of people posting opinions online, which leads to other people arguing with them in the comments. And I think we need to stop this. There needs to be a clear ceasefire when it comes to arguing in comments online. And the real question is, how do we get to this point? And I have some simple answers, a simple solution. It's a 3-step process to avoid getting into arguments in Instagram comments. Number 1, click on the profile of the person whose comment you want to respond to. Are they crazy? And I am not using this casually. There are several people who you have been interacting with who are genuinely mental health problem patients. And there you go, like a dummy, arguing with an escaped asylum inmate. I have myself perused a few profiles and seen that people are arguing with full-on crack addicts, people whose entire feed is just post about the Antichrist coming back, and you with your college education are spending hours of your day arguing with this person. Please get some common sense and avoid doing that. Thing number 2, call their school. Call the person's school and see if you can get their grades for English comprehension, because they might not be crazy, but they might be stupid. And I think a trap that a lot of people are falling into is that they believe that because the person is quoting statistics and has read, they have information that's worth interacting with. Please remember when you sat in class and had comprehension, when they gave you a book or a passage to read and they said, okay, Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. What does that mean? And people were just like, I don't know, they wanted blueberries. There are true idiots in this world who have all the access to all the information on the internet, and they still know nothing, even less than nothing, some of them. Some people are in minus figures for common sense. Please stay aware of that. Thing number 3, and this is the real key to kind of mitigating when you're about to respond to someone in the comments and get into some kind of debate or argument. I want you to closely look at the comment and then switch your phone off. Switch your phone off, go make a sandwich, masturbate, eat the sandwich, go to sleep. And don't do it. Let's just stop it. You guys are ruining every post. Whether it's a food post, someone talking about their marriage, it's a comedy bit. You guys are really making the internet an unfun place. I don't care if you're right. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Stop arguing in comments. And I think that's the solution to that entire thing. Let's just stop it altogether. I would be remiss not to mention, as the person who has this wealth of knowledge and is tasked with solving the world's problems, what's happening in LA right now with the fires. I hope everyone is staying safe and their families are staying safe. But I'm as an idea man, I'm really about prevention. I'm really about prevention, not cure. So the people who are on the ground dealing with that are on the ground dealing with that. But I have to really come in with the ideas about how we can prevent the fires from happening again in LA. I'm going to just throw out a few ideas. Number 1, elephants. I see most videos that I see with elephants, they're having a great time. They're spraying a lot of water out of their trunks. And it seems to me it would be quite efficient to have just some elephants roaming the Los Angeles countryside, so we can really, before the fires even become big, there's just, Dumbo's out there. He's just doing his thing. He's chilling. He's having a good time. Just vibes, peanuts, and spraying water. Thing number 2, make everybody a firefighter. Why are we only making prisoners firefighters? Maybe make everybody a firefighter. Consider treating it like a conscription, like you're drafting people for the war. If you live in LA, you have to learn how to listen. From what I understand, there's a lot of strippers in that town. So possibly 40% of your population already knows how to slide up and down a pole. And based on TV, I think sliding on a pole might be the majority of what firefighters do in general. So make everybody become a firefighter. They get other skills. There's transferable skills. You can slide down a pole. You can spray a hose. I guess if you want to go back in time and be on the wrong side of a race riot, being able to spray a hose is an important skill that you can use. So I think we just from the time you're 3 years old, you get into firefighter training. Swing that axe, hold that hose, slide down that pole. All of this sounds a lot like sex work, but either way, once again, that's something that's really prevalent in California. So I say we give people a multitude of skills through one set of training, make everybody a firefighter. The third thing, it's controversial, but the best ideas often are. The third idea that I have for trying to prevent future fires is that instead of leaning away from water use, when we're considering drought season, we kind of encourage people to fill up their homes with more water products. The more water, the better. You brush your teeth, no toothbrushes, only water picks. Everyone must have a pond. Sometimes just soak down your sofa just because. Water beds, of course. Maybe just a storage of full water balloons in your backyard in case like a water fight breaks out or in case a fire breaks out. I think the more that we kind of waterlog the homes in general, maybe consider designing these houses. In Venice, all of those houses are kind of floating. There's some kind of system in Venice that allows the houses to float on the canals. Maybe dig under all the houses and just fill them up with water. And that way we won't have to figure out how to pump water, how to spray water if any fire breaks out. We'll just be living in a constant state of wetness, like how I keep all my bitches. Moving right along, something that's a bit personal to me happening in my life right now. I am finally back, dipping my toe back into the dating world. So I'm on the apps once again, and I'm noticing a few patterns. And it would be remiss for me to tell women what to do, but seeing that I am someone on the other side and the women that I see on the apps are looking for men, perhaps my perspective might be of use. If you're a woman on the apps, perhaps tone it down with how specific you are about your hobbies and the things that you're into. It's a lot. I can't really deal with you wanting someone who's interested in, we'll get along with you if you're interested in rock climbing, coal-fired pizzas and craft beers, and then all your pictures are all about coal-fired pizzas, craft beer, and rock climbing. I get that it's good to be intentional about what you want, but could you expand it a little bit? Could it just be like all pizzas? What if I have an electrical pizza oven? What if I like, Guinness? Is that okay? What if I just like doing pull-ups on a pull-up bar? I clearly do not. But I feel like we really need to dial it back a tad. Dial it back, open up the pool, and also, you're saying that these things are all your interests. You're posting pictures of you engaging in these interests. I'm assuming you're not always doing them alone. I assume you're not making coal-fired pizzas on your own and making your own craft beer and going rock climbing on your own. There are men there, I assume, but here you are on the dating app still. So perhaps look into someone who's interested in whiskey, sitting on the couch and eating fried chicken, because it seems like your interest pool is not picking you. And I'm not saying you need to get rid of all your interest and not find someone who wants any of the things you want, but perhaps pick a few. Pick a few and not all. That would be my suggestion for that. It's time once again for the Runako Universe Media Corner, where I introduce you to something that I have been watching or listening to recently. This week's pick is a Japanese show, surprisingly. It's called Kenja no Ai, Love of Sage, and usually I don't get into Japanese shows. But when I tell you that the storyline of this show is the most toxic thing that I have seen since the nuclear meltdown in Fukushima post the big earthquake. It is. I'm going to tell you a few things that happen in the show, and it's going to be some spoilers, but it's genuinely the first 10 to 15 minutes of the first episode of the series. The main character is dating a much younger man, and she is a publisher for a writer. She meets up with the publisher that she is the writer that she's working with directly. He's there with his wife. His wife is her old friend. Later she goes to dinner at their house. It turns out the young boy is their son. Not only is the young boy their son, but they begin to do flashbacks. And from the flashbacks, you see that the writer used to live in the main character's house when she was a young girl and she was in love with him, and his current wife swooped in and took him from her. And this is just, once again, this is the first 10 minutes of the show. They do a lot of flashbacks. They make some horrible choices for the aging of the people. In between the age of 11 and 16, they totally change the girl who's the main character. And then later, when she's supposed to be in her mid-20s, they leave her. They don't hire a new actress. They use the same actress who they're using for when she's, I'm guessing, in her 40s. But somehow they manage to make her look older in her 20s than how she's supposed to look when she's in her 40s. It's a true shit show in some parts, but the storyline is crazy. The young girl who moves in and eventually takes the girl's man, there's part of the story where she's just walking around with an ice pick, constantly stabbing people or threatening to stab people. It's true mess cinema. It is like Love and Hip Hop on steroids. I recommend it strongly. Kenja no Ai, Love of Sage. I saw it on Amazon Prime, and that's today's Media Corner recommendation. Before we leave, I would like to also express my sympathy to all the TikTok addicts in North America who are losing their addiction. I don't know why I need to express sympathy for that, because it seems like getting rid of an addiction would be a good thing, but people seem to be very lost and there's a lot of grief and mourning going on. So here's some advice for how you can address whatever you're feeling right now. My number one suggestion: go outside. Go outside. Just go outside, see what's happening. There's things happening outside, you know. Make friends with people with different interests. It seems like a lot of you have just been surprised that there are other people with other interests and who other knowledge sets and other skills. And perhaps if you would not only hang out with the same group of people, you wouldn't need TikTok to expose you to this. Go dance in a place that's meant for dancing. You know, go liven up a nightclub or something. Perhaps sub dancing only in front of your mirror and in front of your phone camera with the hopes that you make money off of it. Perhaps just go out and dance to enjoy yourself. Let's bring nightlife back. We've got no more TikTok to dance in front of. Let's just dance with people, you know? And my final and probably main suggestion for this is go see a real mental health professional and stop trying to take diagnoses off of TikTok. None of those people are in a position to truly diagnose whatever is wrong with you, and I promise you, something is wrong with you. So now that TikTok's gone, get better help. Go see if your city or your state offers subsidized mental health therapy, and really get yourself together as a human being. And of course, if you need information, I will always be here. Runako knows everything, and You Know Nothing. I have a few comedy dates coming up if you're interested in hearing me do some jokes instead of giving you all of this knowledge that I usually give. January 25th, if you're in Tokyo, January 25th, I'll be in Nakameguro. January 28th, I'll be in Ikeji Ohashi. I'm hosting an open mic out there. And then on February 6th, I am doing my new material show, Boo This Man, and that's in Higashi Koenji. Um, so yeah, that's all for this episode. I think we'll stop it there. I'm Runako. This is Runako Universe. I know everything. You know nothing. Peace.